Catman227 here, and welcome to Warframe Master Guides. Now, I'm going to quickly show you guys all of these abilities. I'm starting to do this at the beginning of the video instead of the end. I think this is going to help you guys out a lot, so I'm just going to quickly flash these on screen. You can pause the video and read these if you need to, but this is just to give you a little oversee of what exactly Mirage's abilities do, so that way whenever I start talking about them, you actually understand what it is I'm actually saying. Because I do know that in my Baruch video, I kind of would talk about how to use the abilities before you even knew exactly what they did. But, yeah, now that you know exactly what you're getting into, I'll still show my build at the very end of the video, but I wanted to quickly show you guys Mirage's abilities before I even got started. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's continue. So now that you're well equipped of what she can do, I'm going to go ahead and show you a playstyle. So obviously, since you have faster animation, you can bullet jump better, you can bullet jump a lot faster. And, of course, sliding is increased, which is definitely good, especially if you have the, I believe there is a mod that allows you to get increased damage or increased crit or something like that whenever you use a slide attack. I think that's for, like, a melee or something like that, but I don't currently... No, it's maiming strike, I think. So, yeah. So, obviously, you can see the animation speed is much faster. Bullet jumping and any kind of acrobatics is just a lot faster, which is definitely good. I really like that about her. Now, I would try to have this ability up all the time. This will definitely help you because it increases your damage, because it increases the amount of bullets that you are shooting out. So, let me try to elaborate a little more as to what exactly I'm talking about. So, it doesn't straight up increase your damage. What it does is makes you shoot double, so, or triple in this case. Because, as you can see, I'm using my gun, and so are the clones that are surrounding me. They are also using the same gun as me. So the first two, let me see if I can demonstrate. So these two, this one and this one, are going to be the ones shooting at these enemies. They will be dealing damage with me as I go through this. So it's not just going to be me, and they do melee strikes as well. However, it is only two clones. The one that your cursor is in between, that one, those are the two that will start to do damage with you. The other two are just there to confuse them. But I would definitely, there's no reason to not have Hall of Mirrors up, especially if you have full energy. So I would definitely try to keep this up as much as humanly possible. Her second ability is also kind of unique, because it can stun the enemies. So if you get into a really hot pinch, so let's say you have like a lot of enemies that are just kind of stacked up on top of each other, because sometimes you'll get like these massive groups of enemies that'll just... Here we go. Oh, overshot it. There we go. So it blinds them. Sometimes it will straight up stun them. There we go. Yeah, so it's like a proximity mine. I think that what I would do is use this, have your first ability up, and then you can just absolutely mow them down. Spectacular. Now, if you don't think that's bitchy enough, what you can do is you can throw this on, Eclipse. Now, depending on which you're standing in, which types of light that you're standing in, because there's different types of light. So if you're standing in dim light, or in the darkness, then I believe you get partial, like it's not full-on stealth, it's more along the lines of you become harder to hit. So when an enemy is shooting at you, there's a massive increase that they will miss the shots that they are shooting at. So, and then I think in bright light you get a damage increase, so you get more damage, which is great because if you have this on and you have this on, you can just mow down enemies from any level and it'll work pretty spectacularly. Let's go ahead and hit another one of these. And it really helps for hitting life support capsules as well, because if you're hitting a life support capsule and it's in the dark, then you will take massive damage reduction, so like you won't take as much damage as you would before. Now, Mirage is a weird Warframe in a sense of her ultimate ability. Her fourth ability is this. Very slow casting animation. You can speed it up with natural talent, and it will drain energy as it's active. So the only way that this ability is going to wear off is if it runs out of duration or you run out of energy. However, recasting the ability will detonate it and will do massive damage. So this ability is good because you have several abilities such as this one and this one, your first and third, that will help you negate a lot of that damage. The problem with it is you're standing still. It does do massive amounts of damage, which is fantastic, and it seeks out enemies that, you know, obviously it can't go around cover, so it struggles with doing that. And it does take quite a bit of energy to do as well. It's good for mowing down hordes of enemies like this, but yeah, then it bounces off of walls. I would not suggest using this if you are in a really big hurry to kill enemies. I would just suggest popping your first ability and your third ability to kill the enemies quicker. It's just simply because you cannot rely on your fourth ability as much as you can your others. Because this, you always should have it up, and like your first ability, you should always have it up, and your third ability, you should always have it up. As long as you've got energy, you should be casting these abilities and having them up all the time, because it's going to increase your chances of blinding enemies, because I blinded that other one just now. Yep, I think he got blinded as well, because he was just standing there. But Eclipse will essentially just blind enemies. They have a chance to blind enemies because the light will reflect off of your body and will blind certain enemies. But I don't know. Your Prism is just like your fourth ability is just not. It's not really all that good. It's weird in a sense because your passive ability speeds up pretty much all of your animations, except for reloading, and it doesn't increase your Prism. It's still good if you need to do massive amounts of damage, however, aiming the damn thing is weird. I really wish you could, like, turn your crosshairs and have that do the damage, or not the damage, but have that, like, turn it. So if I can aim down sights, I could guide it wherever I needed it to go. Kind of like you can with Nova's ability, with her little ball that she shoots. But unfortunately, they don't really allow you to do that, which kind of sucks because, you know, if you're in a massive group of enemies and you're looking to mow them down, you can't. Which, you know, I don't really like that at all. But her fourth is just kind of something you throw out, like, oh, hey, I've got maximum energy, let me just go ahead and throw that out. But, yeah, Eclipse and Hall of Mirrors, you should have that active at all times. I like to stun the enemies as well. It's not mandatory to have to throw your sleight of hand out and do it that way, but you could probably do that if you needed to, like, get headshots or something like that. Or if you wanted to group the enemies up to where they don't spread out as much. It's just a really good crowd control ability, and you can shoot it kind of far. It goes wherever your crosshair is aiming, so if you want it to go in a specific spot, you can make it go wherever you need it to go. So like I can shoot it like over there. Okay, that didn't work. There we go. See, now it worked. It is kind of weird how the aiming priority works, but if anybody walks anywhere near this, they're gonna get destroyed, except for this. Oh, there we go. Spoke too soon. Yeah. It's really good to put it in like areas like this instead of right there, because no enemy's even gonna go anywhere near that area most of the time. Hey, fuck you. But I would definitely try to put it in areas where you know the enemy are gonna go, or just cast it right on top of them like I tend to do, because it's a guaranteed explosion radius. There is a mod augment that you can get. I'm not entirely sure which faction. You'd have to go through them. But Sleight of Hand has a mod augment where all I think it's ammo pickups will also explode and have the same effect, which is really good if you're a fan of running out of ammo in endless missions. But it is an option. I guess if you don't spam it, it'll be fine. But I don't know. Mirage is a weird one. She's definitely a Warframe that I picked up very recently, earlier this year. And I did a build with her. I learned how to play her, and I thought she was okay. She'll never be one of my favorites, but she is a Warframe that I can respect and have a lot of fun with. Especially whenever you want to throw on just a weapon. I wouldn't necessarily say that she's a Warframe that you don't really need in any mission. Like, there's never going to be an instance where it's just like, okay, we're doing this mission, yeah, we need a Mirage. Like, we need a Mirage. You're never going to need a Mirage for any specific purpose. However, she's very fun, and if you wanted to level up a weapon, like just to enjoy playing around with your weapon that you're leveling, you have two abilities, Eclipse and Sleight of Hand, which is your first ability, this one, that will increase its damage. So it's really going to help you a lot. Mirage can help you in leveling up weapons, or just straight up enjoying the weapon as needed. So if you just want to really enjoy a weapon, Mirage is definitely a character you want to bring, because she can just do a whole lot when it comes to your weapon damage. And if you're not a fan of bullet jumping or backflipping or acrobatics, then yeah, you can speed up the animation time and not waste a mod slot with natural talent. Because that's what a lot of people don't do, is use natural talent, because it's a waste of a mod slot. You could be putting something else better there. But if you wanted to increase that, or not have to worry about animations as much, just bring Mirage. I mean, you can literally maneuver so much faster. I mean, and plus this skin is just amazing as well. It's definitely her best skin. But that's really all I have to say about Mirage. I will show you the build and tell you if I would recommend her or not. I will see you guys in just a second. Alright everyone, and this is the build. So, I did not go with Blind Rage, just for the fact that you don't really need a whole lot of power strength for this. I was doing pretty decent damage with my fourth ability. The only real reason you'd ever want power strength is for your fourth ability, I mean. So, and you sacrifice a lot of efficiency with Blind Rage, so you're going to be spamming your first and third ability quite often. So it's not really a necessity to have Blind Rage on there. This will do just fine for whatever purposes you need. Now, she is quite squishy, which is why I threw on these two mods right here. So I would definitely recommend having these two mods equipped, for the simple fact that she is very squishy. And like I said, if you do play a lot of solos, this would be a great mod to have on as well. You can switch this to, I do believe it's called Corrosive Projection. Yes, this was the one I was running in a party. So if you have a lot of formas in her, you can probably take this and put this on in a party scenario. But if you're by yourself in a solo mission like I just was, you want Energy Siphon. And energy siphon's good for party scenarios as well, but it's not really necessary if you've got teammates. But corrosive projection you can use as a substitute for this one if you wish. Now, these are the only two power strength mods, Intensify and Power Drift, that I had to put on just because I wanted a little bit of extra strength to deal a little more damage. Now, Prime Continuity, if you have the regular continuity, it is fine. It doesn't have to be the Prime version, but the Prime version will definitely help out a lot if you can get a hold of it. Now, Stretch is how I was getting so many kills with the fourth ability from such a long distance. So you definitely want this one over any other range mod. You probably could put what was it called? There was right here, Cunning Drift. You can swap Power Drift for Cunning Drift to give you a little bit of extra range, although it is not necessary. So I put on this one just to have a little bit of extra damage. Plus it gives chance to resist knockdown, which is always good with Mirage considering she is so squishy. Now, Streamline, you have to have a Streamline with Mirage because you spam your abilities so often. Mirage's abilities are very, very spammy, so you're definitely going to want this to kind of help keep up with it. And I threw on Energy Siphon because, I mean, these two mods go together like bread and fucking butter. So, and I threw this on just, I had an extra slot. Really, these mods right here are really all you need. You don't really need much else other than these. However, I had an extra slot, so I just decided to throw on some extra duration because why not? It kind of helps cut down on the spamminess a little bit because you don't have to use your you don't really have to use your third or first ability as often because you have so much duration. Now, would I recommend Mirage? Oh yes, I would definitely recommend Mirage 110%. She is, again, not my favorite frame, but I do really think she's fun, and she's really good for leveling up weapons. So if you can copy this build and actually learn how to play her in the right ways, because she does have a set playstyle that it just takes time to figure out. Be patient with her. She's definitely not a Warframe you can just pick up and play, because she's not extremely overpowered. But if you learn how her abilities work, if you manage to use her in a way that she's not squishy, or you actually can memorize the locations to where you can actually use your Eclipse, then you'll be very good off. So, magnificent Warframe. I didn't realize her potential until much later. That was on me. But I can now say without a doubt, go and get Mirage. You will not be disappointed. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed and this video has helped you, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know which Warframe you want me to do a review on next. So I will catch you guys in the next video.